So, solo commentary for this is going to be a little interesting for me. Time is on game start for Super Mario 64. Console on rather than game start. It's a little bit of a difference from most video games. It's actually somewhat common in the Mario community to use what is commonly known as a JRTA timing, but they don't time to the end of credits. So, it's a little different. We see that they are out of sync a little bit. SuperPlayer said that he had a late restart on his emulator. So, let's see that they're going to be a little bit behind. And there's our music. The wonderful birds chirping at the start of the game before any music actually goes in. This is live to two-step. Neither player gets it. This is actually a pretty difficult step. It's going to be pretty good to know that they both missed it. It means that neither of them are going to have to worry about that random time loss. A lot of Super Mario 64 speedrunning is actually a subtle thing. It's fighting with this camera. The camera in this game is kind of notorious for being a little rough, but it can be used to your advantage to make very quick movements and turns. So we'll be seeing them adjust the camera quite a bit. Now this is 70 star, so they're... Oh! And this is one of the first major steps. We use this bomb to push us into the grates and clip through. We don't have to do the chain chomp fight or get it down. Nice little step there. And we are done with Bomb. We just need the 1 star from there. We're going to go straight to probably one of the more famous levels with one of the more famous histories of this speedrun. Which is Thwomp Tower, or sorry, I can't actually remember the full name. We're also first going to do this, though, which is the slide. There's a few slides in this game. We're going to be getting some stars from here, and oddly enough, you go faster backwards. And so by bouncing on these two things, you gain enough speed to basically skip the entire slide. We'll see that both player is actually on a little bit ahead now. Just by a little teeny bit. And now with that, the reason why we do that is it's very quick to get that star, and it sets us in the right position to just jump over here. And we'll begin all of the stars from this world. Reason that we use Japanese is because there is actually a significant amount of text in Super Mario 64. And the first stars that we'll be getting here are going to be the red coin star as well. Oh, well, we're having a little bit of a route divergence here. So what we're seeing on GothicLogic is what's called canonless. There's a star that is active, but not normally obtainable without a completely different strat. So what we do is we do a bit of a setup. Lo and behold, here we are, in this day and age where we don't have to do that. I don't know the complete specifics, I just know that you basically touch the star while it's inside of that area. And with that setup, you can get it pretty much every time. It doesn't really matter what order you do a lot of these. Ooh. Lost the blue there, I think. Oh, and a little bit of a bump there. Again, this star is a little bit longer, so we're going to see how long it's going to take him. But it doesn't really matter what order you do them, like I said, as long as you get them done. And there is the red coin star. You just need to get 7 more coins, and the coin star is unique in that you can choose not to end the world when you get it. So, I'll be picking this up. They'll ask if they wish to continue with the world. I'll say yes. And then go and pick up the red coin star. We'll see this in a few worlds. And now we're seeing them go back in. We'll see which Starship player gets next. Also, a unique feature of this game is when you, similar to Odyssey actually, in that when you collect certain stars, it changes certain parts of the level. And it looks like we're going to see cannonless here from SuperPlayer. He gets it first try. Perfect. Ooh, and Gothic falling on getting the locked star. That's a pretty difficult. I mean, actually, to be honest, the majority of stars in this game are quite difficult to get as a speed run. There are lots of tricks. This game is very janky, if you think about it. It is it's an old 3D platformer, and 3D was quite new. Ooh, getting the faster setup there, but falls off the ledge, unfortunately, for SuperPlayer. Both runners out, running into smaller states. We're going to get to see the boss fight here. This boss, another kind of glitchy thing, you can actually just jump through him while he is moving. And if you do it right, you basically just jump on him mid-thing. And he is down. Seeing slight variations in these runners' routes. Both making mistakes though here and there, which is fine. What are their PBs? 49 and 59. Players got an emu emulator PB of 59, and GothicLogic has a very, very solid 49. There's about a 10-minute difference here. Gothic, though, stating in the chat before the race that he's not 100% confident in his current play, so this might be a bit closer. This game is an extremely taxing game. Honestly, makes grown men quiver a little. It's a little difficult. Fun to play, though. Very fun to play. Holds up, honestly. Still probably one of the best speed games. Doing, I think the intent, yeah, doing interesting. This start is hard, so. Oh! Oh no. Missing it by a little bit. That's a bit rough. Never seen GothicLogic doing the in the sky, because you need the red cap. Gonna do red coins in the sky. Oh, and he missing a red coin. Yeah, I actually forgot that this is how you do that star for real. So, that was a thing for me. So we are moving on to the first Bowser world. Bowser in Dark World. No, this isn't Dark World. That feel when it's been so long that you forgot the English names of the levels. Oh no, do it. This is Dark World. It's Dark World, Fire World, and Sky? Yeah. Okay, This is a pretty clean Dark World for Gothic. Honestly, the flying mechanic in Mario 64 is my least favorite part of the game. It's very janky to me. But I'm also just bad at the game, so. Here's Bowser. Ooh. Missing those 2 coins. Bowser, simple fight, grab his tail, swing him around, launch him into a ball, and there you go. So long can Bowser. Yeah, so pardon my lack of in-depth knowledge of this game. Also, we're back at Bomb World. I'm just a viewer of this. I just so happened to have missed the Odyssey commentary. Because I was out shopping. Ended up here. Not sure 100% where I am, but I do like this video game. Yeah, like I said, anytime you hear that down, that is the camera moving. Camera, again, being a very important part of this game. You know, after watching tons of runs from runners like Punkashay or Cheese and stuff, it's almost refreshing to see runners playing at a high, what I believe is a high level, but not necessarily doing everything perfectly. Kind of makes you remember that these are still humans, these speedrunners. Oh, I thought he was going to fall into the pipe there. And grabbing the baby penguin on GothicLogic's side. Doing what I think a lot of us tried when we were kids. Just trying to like slide down here, but speedrunners just do what we thought was possible and make the impossible possible. SuperPlayer grabbing the big key and the star. The movement in this game is in fact insane. I agree. There are some tricks in this game that are just beautiful. The sliding, the physics abuse, finding small errors in the code. This is a beautiful game. Watching it is a treat every time. SuperPlayer having a bit of a rough time getting into the air. There we go. Getting the star, easy peasy. We're doing another race on GothicLogic's side. Oh, sort of. We're not really racing. We're just beating a mother at her own game. Also getting a coin star. Again, we'll be getting coin stars usually in conjunction with another star. Actually, pretty much every time with another star. That's the only time we'll see coin stars. I agree. There's a lot in Odyssey speedrunning that you can appreciate as a fan of this game. We'll be moving on though. From the ice world on Gothic's side, we'll be going into Boo's mansion. This one was a bit confusing as a kid, honestly. Yeah, I agree. Well, no, it's a lot closer to Sunshine, actually, in my opinion. Do speed? Yeah, I've seen speedrunners do all sorts of hacks. Wonder if SM64 entrance randomizer would be a thing. I mean, all it would do is it would be like, well, there is Super Mario Sunshine, or sorry, there is Super Mario World 3 randomizer. Or is it Super Mario? It's SMB3, yeah, SMB3 randomizer. I don't actually know much about this part of the run for that Goth it's on. The Ghost World always kind of eluded me casually, and somehow don't ever remember watching this part whenever I watch speedruns. I don't know, I feel like you pass by it pretty quickly. SuperPlayer doing a nice job getting as many coins as you can here. Don't want to lose to the Penguin though. Fortunately, you gotta go back there to get the last coin. Slightly different routes from our runners. GothicLogic on the pyramid level. Probably one of the more complicated levels in SM64. This is kind of usually casually the first one that you'll run into. That makes you go, huh? This game is a little bit more in depth than maybe I realized. Ooh, GothicLogic falling into a pit there. That was really clean from SuperPlayer. Really interesting fall there. Are the 70 stars required in a specific set, or is it any 70? Well, any 70 to an extent. If I remember correctly, using the infinite bomb jump to sequence break into a different part of the castle that you're not able to access is considered is banned in 70 star. I might be incorrect there. It might just be that it's faster to do it the way these runners are. What I do know is that it can be basically any 70 star. Yeah, no major skips. That is what I thought. You can't even major skip to get extra stars. So that is the point of the tag race. So it's not that they can get any star. It's that they have to get very specific stars. Also, finally, GothicLogic glitching into the pyramid. Doing a very advanced version of this route of this game. So yeah, so there is some areas that are locked out. For example, to access certain areas of the map, you need to either get oh man, I forgot how good the music was here. Yeah, so for example, to get into the basement you need, I believe it's 16 stars. To get into the top part of the castle you need 50 stars. To get into the final top part of the castle to get to Bowser you need 70. If I'm remembering the number strats. I think I'm missing a door. That's the gist of it. There are star doors in this that require stars. Or Bowser, and then to beat Bowser you need once you beat Bowser you get a bid key. So that was interesting. He got damaged in the cutscene. Yeah, these two are doing very different routes, which is making it very difficult for this novice commentator of this game. Using damage boosts where he can. Oh, ooh, that was a little close there, Gothic. These guys, trying to get them off can be a bit tricky. There's a way to basically get all three of them off at the same time. There we go. Another star. Once we get off the boss monster there. Yeah, even if runners are on different routes, it is at least, it's just harder for me to focus on two different routes like this as a solo commentator who is not as well versed in this game. Got kind of asked to jump in. It's enjoyable. I at least know the tricks and I know the jumps. I know most of the steps. Yeah, we are currently seeing SuperPlayer fall a bit behind. Now, if his route greatly diverges, he may get an additional star amount. Ooh, SuperPlayer falling in there, but luckily it's enough of a height there. I mean, you get a lot of height from that lava. So Gothic player going through. This was, I think, my favorite world casually, honestly. My favorite painting world. I really enjoyed the lava world. I think it was fun to use. I think it's fun to use lava in games that let you use lava to like move around. Like use it to get to places you're not expected to go. SuperPlayer was a much cleaner. I don't know what those guys are. Those push guys. So this is, in my opinion, the coolest trick. The one that Gothic did. I think that's one of the more underappreciated steps. Is swimming up that lava. They're called oh, are they actually called bullies? Awesome. Yeah, a few frame shots on GothicLogic side. See, that is a mechanic I enjoy in video games, is using lava to jump. I don't know why. SuperPlayer doing the intermediate route for this star, not using the lava to get himself all the way up, but using it to get him halfway up. And now we're in a fairly, as an outsider to the community, I'm not 100% sure how much of this level is actually like popular or just a meme. But I do in fact know about that one video. Do you think Super Mario 64 is a good game to get into speedrun? I think that whatever video game you think you can play for 1,000 hours that's a good game to get into speedrun in. Whether that's Super Mario 64 or that's Final Fantasy 1 or maybe even a bad game. You think you can play a bad game for 1,000 hours? Just be an author blues. Just play a game for 1,000 hours that's actually awful. Okay, we're into the desert level for SuperPlayer. Still only 4 stars behind. I don't know, again, the difference in their routes. And that was very, very clean flying star. Do people speedrun Hatsune Miku? Probably. If it has a credits, they probably speedrun it. I watched an Idolmaster speedrun like 2 weeks ago. So anything can be speedrun. But this is a very... If I have to say something, if you're asked about this game being a good speedrun to start with specifically, the answer is most likely yes. The reason being that there's such a large community, and such a large... There's a large community, but not a giant amount of guides for said community. Open up the pyramid the intended way. Okay, so we're moving on to... believe... I can't remember which world this is. Oh yes, water... Oh, I hate the water worlds. This one, though, actually has fast stars. We will never see that other one. I can't even remember. Yeah, I don't like the water physics in Mario. Jolly Roger Bay, thank you, yeah. Oh, is it literally called Waterworld? That's awesome. Good, so I was right. Oh no, this isn't Jolly Roger Bay yet. Jolly Roger Bay is the only level completely skipped. I knew that. I knew that's the only level that doesn't see even 1 star. Yeah, and you know, good point. SM64 swimming controls are good for the time, but they're not, they're better than Odyssey's. They're better than Odyssey's. I actually don't know what SuperPlayer's doing. Oh, he's setting up for... Oh no! Don't fall! I feel like he's not supposed to be where he is. I feel like that's actually just speedrunning in general, isn't it? But, back into a lava world, but this time, it's Bowser's. Ooh, I don't think that was intended from him. This is, again, we're only, well, this is a longer world, so... The Bowser worlds are always a little bit deceiving. There are 2 stars in each Bowser world. Ooh. GothicLogic having some issues. There he goes. Oh, now he's going blazing. Jeez. All of a sudden. There's a little bit of a trip up there, but now we're seeing him go full bore in Bowser and Lava World. Fire World. Either one. Same thing. I don't think he meant to grab onto that. But interesting thing is that Goth is playing to go into the final, to go into the bracket stage. If he wins this, that's a very simple clip, by the way. And Bowser in Fire C down. Yes, we know that GothicLogic stream is dropping frames. SuperPlayer is actually going into Dry Docks. Only 2 stars behind. Also, if you're wondering why we went into Fire C and then left, it's just because of how quick it is. So, when you exit from a world, just normally, you just get spit out where that world is. But if you go back into that world and then basically do a save into it, you spawn at the top of the tower. Sorry, at the bottom of the lobby, which in this case is much faster. Another pretty fun world. This is a good water world in that it's only water some of the time. Some emus or versions. There are some versions of Project 64 that are allowed. I believe it is 1.3 and up, but 1.4 is not allowed. The most recent versions are far less accurate. Run less games though. And SuperPlayer has a very different route. He has more stars, a lot more stars going into Bowser than GothicLogic did.
Here we go!
Okay. So yeah, seeing GothicLogic is going to do one of the cooler stars. This is a interesting star where you basically skip through this elevator by moving part of it from the outside and get the star by just doing some jumps. Very clean. Dang, SuperPlayer is having a much better time at fire. He might be saving time here. Yes, he's behind on stars right now, but if he can get through this level really cleanly and to start picking up the net stars, we'll see. Oh, whoa! Did a bit of a fall there. Keep in mind that the slopes in this game, the speedrunners make them look pretty easy, but does 1.6? Yes, 1.6 deliberately tries to emulate lag, and then they decided to, instead of make an accurate emulator, make a better experience, I guess. They just basically had a design change. Better for the overall public, not better for us speedrunners. Okay, so we're in GothicLogic onto his next world, and just forgot to point that out. Grabbing his red coin star. Oh, he got it. Okay, that looks sketchy. Good on you, Super Player. Bowser down. And this is actually a joy to commentate SM64, even though, you know, not the most knowledgeable, just basically watching a run and talking through it. SM64 is honestly, like, with all the steps, it's still a game that would basically win with just smooth movement. The steps in this game don't feel like, you know, quote-unquote cheats that say, like, turn off some runners. Or not some runners, sorry, that's the wrong word. Turn off some, like, casual viewers. The steps in this game all look like, wow, that's just a bad programmed video game. Would be a lot. Yeah, this is so getting the coin star here. They're one of the cooler coin stars in my opinion, just because it's oof. I don't think he meant to get set on fire there. Or fall down here actually. That was interesting. Come on, this world's cool. I like WRD 100 coins. It's hard though. Or sorry, WDW. I think WDW is like underrated world. Having some issues though. This might be the longest he's spent on a star compared to Gothic. We did it.
Here we go. Here we go.
Just a quick reminder to follow this channel. This channel doesn't get used as much as the other three, but should be getting more use now that the setup used for the other three channels is now working on this channel, which means that more people can more easily stream to this. Those of you who don't know, Speed Gaming is not just a 1 or 2 man operation anymore. There's actually a pretty sizable, great staff that keeps this site running. Keep the site running? Keeps this community running. Ooh. SuperPlayer having some issues in Wet Dry World.
Here we go!
Ooh. Hey, SuperPlayer getting through that in one of the cooler ones, Wet Dry Dot's elevator step. We're at 44 and 53. Again, this game gets progressively more difficult. It's got a really, really good recovery. It's a really, really good difficulty curve, but that difficulty curve shows itself in a speedrun.
Here we go!
Yeah, as per the discussion in chat, SM64, both instances, is actually a fairly well-programmed game. A lot of these will not be found just by playing the game through. Especially this world that SuperPlayer's in right now. This world has some interesting steps. So then there are games that are just poorly programmed, like DK64, where regular people will fall through walls or swim into them because walls don't exist properly in that video game. Into the second snow world for GothicLogic, another world where you get to surf on a Koopa shell, which is still really, really cool. Okay. What? Oh, he suicided. I actually don't know why, because I don't know the game well enough. He fell during. Okay, so that was an unintentional fall. Didn't know that actually. Thought he was doing something intentionally. This is what happens.
Here we go!
Thank you, chat, for correcting my mistakes. I always liked this world. Tiny Big Island. They need to put another. They need to make another Tiny Big Island. Please, Nintendo.
Here we go!
And another star from the Toad.
Here we go!
Super Player is currently 10 stars apart from Gothic. Gothic is in the final stage of the game. Gothic on really good pace, actually. Both runners, for considering their PBs, on pretty good paces. Again, weird glitches. Why is there water in that wall? Why does swimming in that wall send you up the mountain? None of it made sense to me. I don't think any of it made sense to anyone. But, you know, we're here. Getting that waterfall star. Watching this game again, gotta say, I will always say this is the best speedrun. The fact that there are so many different routes in this video game. Gothic Fallen, I assume unintentionally, or possibly a reset, wasn't paying 100% attention. Okay, that was definitely unintentional. I think world record is in like 30 seconds. It might actually be up right now. Oh yeah, no, world record is, well, I was actually right. World record was 30 seconds from when I said that. Expecting anything close to world record pace, though, in a race is, not happening. Why am I so Grinch? Because I'm a bitter 26-year-old man. And a star from Toad. Any other matches tonight? I'm not sure, but if you do exclamation mark schedule, it'll give you both the speed gaming as a whole schedule as well as the schedule for the tournament that is currently running. On to the last area though, Tiny Clock will be doing quite a few different things. This is a very interesting concept to a level where you can make it go faster or slower or have it completely stop depending on the time that you enter the clock. Very unique concept for an area. There's a lot of unique things in this video game that I don't think would be as good anymore. Wait, what did I call it?
Here we go!
This is what happens when you haven't played the English version of or watched the English version of the video game for years. You just start making up like names. I never said I'm old. I said I'm bitter and 26 years old. Player getting up top of that. Again, they are doing different routes, but SuperPlayer is fairly far behind.
Here we go!
Gothic making wonderful work of the clock.
Here we go!
So SuperPlayer entering the final area. Also, oddly enough, 70 star doesn't reference the number of stars that you get, or like the run is not over at 70 stars. 70 stars just unlocks the final area.
Here we go!
So, Logic having issues getting into Bowser's. That was actually a little funny. Sorry for laughing, Gothic. That was mildly entertaining. That was less entertaining. Just an unfortunate fall.
Here we go!
Gothic, though, putting on a great show. Didn't set on fire. Still a good show. Oof. Gothic's been having some issues in the Bowser worlds today. But he's going for the really... Sorry, I'm suddenly got hiccups. Going for the really interesting strats. Not really going for any easy strats here. I know I saw him practicing this jump here. And gets it. Team SuperPlayer is on Rainbow Road right now.
Here we go!
Ooh, Bowser falling off. Oh, this is not the greatest. But Bowser's deceivingly hard, honestly. Yeah, Bowser throws are way, 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 way harder than they look. They are super inaccurate. The hitbox doesn't make any sense. But Gothic got the third one down. GG. Congratulations.
Here we go! Here we go! Mamma mia!
I've been muted. Thank you for... Oh god. Not like this. I am so sorry, everyone. Whew. How awkward to talk to myself. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Like, oh, there's Yoshi. Hi, Yoshi. Like at this point, this is where my weakness shows. I don't know enough about Super Mario 64 to keep talking through this. This is the weakness. I know enough to play by play, give some interest in facts. Oh. Oh. Yeah. Falling down in TikTok clock is very bad. Does anybody here have any good recommendations for games to buy on the Steam sale? I don't. Man, if this channel had a bot counter, that would actually be pretty rude for a lot of new runners. Bot counters make sense for people who are really good, because it's really funny to see how often, say, they bot in the average attempt. But I mean, there's lots of new runners in speed gaming. I don't know what SuperPlayer's experience level is, but he had a lot of promise in the early levels. I'm not sure how much of this is tilt from losing or screwing up. I have Ori in the Blind Forest. Ah, Tales of Berseria, thank you. That's a good one I need to be reminded of. Yeah, he had some really good shots early on. And we got another star. One more to get. What the hell is Goth doing? He is just kinda showing some stuff off for us. He can't come in for an interview, so may as well show some stuff off. Give the fans something extra to watch. You guys came here to watch 2 speedruns, not just 1. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I've commented so many different games now. This is the first time I felt kind of stranded while doing it. Like, look at this. This is such a clean Dark World. Jeez. His Bowser worlds are really good. Like he did much better on all of his Bowser worlds than Goth did. Oh my gosh, look at this movement. Oh, first try clip. Jeez. What a freaking... This is... Oh, and the recovery. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that was perfect. Holy crap. And there it goes. He had a much cleaner Bowser. Jeez. That was a really good level. Now, I would offer an interview, but I actually have to get going. I really just jumped in on here because Shoya asked me to, and I knew that Super Mario wasn't like that long. It's only like an hour and like 15 at most. So I jumped in. Thank you very much for having me, everyone. Thank you for putting up with this. Really enjoyed the community. I'm again a huge fan of Super Mario 64. I think it's one of the best speedruns ever. So getting to commentate it was really cool. So make sure that you follow the runners. So yeah, I'll be heading off. My name is Zelness. Follow the runners, GothicLogic and SuperPlayer02. Follow the channels. You'll probably see me in places, you know, because I like to talk. Peace out, everyone.